Imagine this, you're a young person, you're a boy, you're a girl, and you're making go-karts, as young people like to do, and you think, one of these days, I'm going to be a race car driver. Well, for a lot of kids, it's a great dream, but it doesn't usually happen. For my next guest, Joey McComb, it did happen, and it's happening right now. He is a NASCAR driver, and we've got him right here in the studio. Joey, good to see you.
Thanks, Drew, for having me on.
No problem. Now tell me about this. How did you carry that dream forward when you were making go-karts with your dad, say, and how do you move from that to where you are now?
Well, it's a huge team effort. I mean, it starts at home with family. My dad always used to take me. He's always been there. I mean, he's here today. He's with me everywhere we go. And, you know, he works on the cars. He does everything. So it's a big team effort from crew, sponsors like Watch It.
Right.
You know, it just makes the whole world go around for us, and it allows us to continue doing what we do, what we love.
So how do you actually, what's the next step from when you're driving the, you know, the wooden thing to qualifying, let's say? How do you practice?
Well, we do a lot of testing. We do a lot of off-the-scene testing. So we're going to different tracks all the time, doing a lot of testing for that. We're going around, we're traveling the country. I mean, check out all the Watch It stores this year. We're going to be there.
Yeah.
When we get to the racetrack, we do a big practice session during the day, try and tune in on our setup that we did at the shop and qualify and you know, do the race and see where it goes from there.
So on behalf of a lot of viewers, because you don't often get to experience it, what does it actually feel like to be in the car going how fast?
Some tracks will do 150 miles an hour, so you know, equate that to kilometers an hour. It's pretty quick.
That's very fast. And you do that for, I didn't know it was that long.
Very long races, yeah. You have to be very endured, you know. I do a lot of physical training.
Right.
You know, I'll lose about 7-8 pounds just in water per race. It's very hot in those cars.
Okay, and we joked about this in the opening, but you make sure you don't have to go to the washroom.
That's right. You know, you drink lots of water during the day, and you're going pee all the time.
Right.
You know, for lack of a better term, but it is what it is, and you do it.
Okay, well, what do you love about it? What's the best thing about the NASCAR?
The best thing about NASCAR is just being able to, you know, be a role model for young Canadians, especially with my sponsor, Watch It, for this year. They're my new sponsor. They're dedicated to the young and hip Canadian, and you know, for me to get out there and just, you know, show what this generation's made of, you know, really hit home to young Canadians. Right. And you know, show them that, you know, you can do it as well.
There you are.
There you go.
And you're number 50? Number
50. That was at Delaware. We had a really good race. We finished 6th that race, and you know, check it on YouTube, check it on watchit.ca, check my new website out, joeymcomb.com. You can see all this stuff.
So what's going through your mind when you're in the car? And because not only are you going fast, but you're really close to the other cars.
You're very close, but it's all relative speed. So, you know, when you're on the 401, the guy in front of you is doing 100 kilometers as well.
Right.
So, you know, just pretend like you're doing 0 and, you know, try and work it that way. And, you know, you're always looking way ahead and, you know, and watch it.
Okay, so if I get pulled over and can I say for speeding, can I say that Joey told me I could do this?
Just tell him you're qualifying.
Qualifying for some jail time, maybe. Maybe. Okay, no, and what's in terms of I want to get to the charities that you're involved in terms of being a role model. You brought that up, but in terms of the actual driving, what's the most fun aspect for you?
I think it's just the speed and the competitiveness. Getting to this level that I'm at, it's always, you know, going for that next goal. What's the next thing we can be doing?
Sure.
And to race across Canada with Watch It this year is amazing to have them cheering me on.
Okay, and conversely, what is the most challenging thing about what you do? Most
challenging thing? It is sponsorship. And it's sponsors like Watch It that allow me to do what I love. And when I first spoke to Darren Bondar of Watch It, he was on board. You know, just an entrepreneur himself, just like me, he knew he got that. And he said, you know what, we're going to support you, we're going to cheer you on, you know, we're going to help you, you know, be to the top of Canada.
Great. And that's the goal. Thing. There's the car itself.
Yep, that was our car from last year. It's going to have it's a completely different look this year.
Right.
So like I said, check out the websites. Follow me. May 8th, we're actually going to be at Vaughan Mills Mall, so come on out. And hey,
this Saturday,
and if you want to get in the car and go for a thrill ride, we'll take you in the Watch It car and go for a thrill ride across Vaughan Mills there.
I now know what I'm doing on Saturday. You heard it here. I'm going to be sitting in the NASCAR. Very cool. You've got a busy summer ahead of you.
Extremely busy. We travel the nation. It's extremely busy. You know, like I said, it goes back to the crew. You know, they're always there helping us, and you know, I'm always in different places at different times, and without their coordination and their help, you know, you just can't do it.
Okay, I mean, it's very exciting, and a big part of the excitement is, as you mentioned, being a role model for youngsters. And I'm particularly interested in the breakfast club type
Yeah,
organization.
that's one of our big charities that we're involved with as the
Tell me
Children's
about that.
Breakfast Club. We started with Addo Insurance, and Addo was a big involvement for the Children's Breakfast Club. And the Children's Breakfast Club feeds thousands of kids each morning across the city.
Right.
And when we get to take those kids and put them in the car and let them sit in the car, let them feel something that they don't ever get to feel, and show them like there is that attainable, it's out there, and I've come from there, and you can do it, and to give them that experience is phenomenal.
Great. And I'm also curious in terms of, do you train when you're not actually racing? Because there's certain, as you mentioned, there's a whole team.
There's a whole team.
The infrastructure around putting that all together, because you can't practice on Toronto streets, although some people try.
A lot of people try.
How does that work?
Well, like I said, I'm always physically training because they're very endurance-based races, and the crew is always preparing everything for us.
Right.
And you just you roll with the punches, really. And if everything comes together and everything jives, you get to the point that we're at.
All right. We did mention the Toronto streets a couple times.
Yeah.
Do you ever forget, when you're driving, say, amongst civilians like myself, do you ever forget that you're in a normal car? Do you ever have the impulse to go, oh man, if I could only just unload here, I could get to the Rogers studio in 20 minutes?
You sometimes think that, but I just drive a Sunfire on the road, so it won't even go that fast. But we'll have our Watch It Dodge Avenger wrapped, and I'll get out of that, and then I'll want to go really fast coming home, and I got to think, oh wait, I'm in my street car.
How do you restrain yourself?
Usually I let someone else drive.
Right. I mean, it just must be so tiring. 2.5 hours.
2.5 hours is very tiring. Your arms get really sore, especially if the car. What people don't understand is, you're just sitting there, you're driving. But what people don't understand is it's very difficult, especially if the car doesn't handle the way you want it to handle.
Right.
So now you've got to really drive it, and your arms will just be killing you after a race.
Wow, that's remarkable. Can you tell them I'm impressed? I mean, I can't focus on anything for 2.5 hours, let alone sitting in like a long car ride or a very fast car ride.
Exactly.
For more on Joey McColm and his adventures this summer, you can follow him on joeymccolm.com. And when we come back, Marasha is in the kitchen cooking up with Babalu, maybe a little bit of dancing. We'll see. Stick around. We'll be right back. Thanks so much.
Yeah.